Hello and welcome back, and yet another radio video. Sorry for people that I'm just so much into radios at the moment, and you can see, look, the Superstar 6900N is back. Now this is not the same radio that Gary first sent me. If you follow the channel, you'll know that Gary sent me a brand new radio and it had issues out of the box. And we're still not quite sure what was wrong with that. Gary is quite busy, but he's going to be doing quite a lot of work on that one. But because there was so much work to do, he had this one in that was in for, I think, an alignment and a service, and generally just a bit of a tidy up. So he was good enough to send me this. So yeah, we're back on the old 6900. I've just gone on to channel here. We have Johnny Jaffa Cake, and just using the really crappy standard microphone, which sounds very nasally. Yep, just confirmed that it does work. And yeah, great. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut over to a couple of video clips that Gary kindly sent me, which will show you inside the radio, and just explaining basically what he's done for me. But basically what he's done for me is that this radio still has full power on FM, but he's internally adjusted the sideband power to a maximum of 20 watts, because I'm going to be running this into a little 203 linear. So that peaks now at 20 watts, so I haven't got to worry about any of the power controls on sideband, which is where I mainly use it. That's all adjusted. Right, I'm going to flick over to Gary's video now, and so you can have a look what Gary's done. And yeah, stuff Gary does is really interesting, actually. I keep trying to talk him into sending me a few more videos when he does things, but we'll hope for that in the future. But anyway, here's Gary.
Right, Fred, this is the radio that you'll be getting. There's nothing wrong with it. It's fairly clean. It's not absolutely mint compared to the other one, but you know, it's still clean. And that's the inside. Right, okay, back to the inside. The problem with this one was is that that tip 35 there was broken, and it wasn't driving the output stage on transmit with proper voltage, so it wasn't transmitting. It was going into transmit, wasn't. Sorry, I said tip 35, didn't it? It's a tip 36, and as I say, that's it there. Now the problem on that one I got back from you was the two output transistors were broken, not totally, and the driver. So it was passing power. Yeah, as I say, they were working, they were passing power, but there was obviously a high resistance joint in, well, all three of them actually. So instead of putting 40 watts out on FM, it was doing something like 10 watts. But I found the driver problem straight away with the two output transistors. Right, there's the power control on this one, and I'm going to put it right round clockwise. I'll take a power measurement with that clockwise, and you'll see it's bang on 40 watts on FM. Two seconds. Keyed up, and on FM it says 40 watts. It says power there, 40 watts. And on sideband it's about 18 watts on sideband. So there you go. Yeah, and as I was trying to explain to you before, the control on the front varies the power on AM and FM. So when you turn the power down, it goes up and down on AM and FM. But on sideband, it's fixed. There's no variable control on the front for SSB power. It's whatever it's set at inside, which I've set it to about 18 watts. Yeah, the two presets inside for AM and FM power, that's AM and FM, and this one here is SSB. They do the same thing exactly as the control on the front. So that's set to 40 watts. It will go higher on AM and FM, and on sidebands 20 watts. Yeah, the SSB one there is set to just under 20 watts. It's about 18 watts. As I say, you can't vary that on the front panel, but it's set inside to 18 watts on SSB. That's average, mind. That's not peak. But it's you know, it's fine at that. That your burner will have no problem with that. Yeah, it's Tuesday today, Fred. I was hoping to get this off to you today, but we had to go out this morning, so I couldn't wait for the delivery van to pick it up, basically. So I'll try and get that off to you tomorrow. But that's it. If you need any more information, just let us know. Cheers, mate. Right, there you go, Fred. It's set on the first mark there, as you can see. And I'll give you the power level at that mark quickly if I can before my time runs out. There you go, 4.9 watts on the first mark. Right, now setting the second mark there if it focuses. There you can see the second mark there, and the power level is 9.5 watts, so it's like you've got half a watt of leeway.
So that was a look inside the radio. It's quite interesting, isn't it? Especially what sort of Gary does. So these radios, I mean, what I think pretty much everyone's owned one of these radios. It's been on CB for a while, and people that are starting out, people that come onto my YouTube channel and say, you know, what radio do you recommend sort of I start with? And especially the guys that, you know, they don't want to spend too much money, you know, I understand that. Well, the Superstar, the CRT Superstar 6900N, I mean, you can't go wrong, really. You seriously can't. It's like your Ford sort of Ford Focus of radios. It pretty much does everything. Now, of course, this is not a legal CB radio, though. This is a 10-meter amateur ham radio, which means that if you choose to buy one of these and use it on 11 meters, which, let's be honest about it, everyone's doing, of course you will be breaking the law. You're not within Ofcom regulations, so it depends how you feel about that. You know, if you want to stick within the law, I'm still going to say President Grant 2, but if you're willing to sort of go over to the dark side, if you like, which I have to be honest, you know, we've all done, that's where we are, everyone's doing that. So what can I tell you about it? Well, to start with, you pick these up brand new on eBay. I think I've seen them for about £135 just for the radio itself. Allow a little bit extra for the microphone. They do come with this pretty nasty cheap M6 microphone. Unlike the 9900, it's just not a very good microphone. It does work, but it really does not sound the best on the radio. And what most people do, and what I've done, is buy the KPO power microphone for about £25 delivered from Knights, and that really does improve the audio. But as I say, about £135. If you want to go to someone like Knights where you'll get it next day, I think they're about near at £150. But for that, for the 150, you will get the extra cable. It does have a USB cable, which I think is an internal connection. You have to open it up, maybe. I can't see a little connector on the back. That looks like a board connector. And then you can put it inside the radio, and then you can, using the software, you can tune in all of the different bands. It comes from, you've got band A to F, and then you can tune those in, you know, whatever you want. If you buy it from Knights, it comes pre-tuned with the UK 40 FM. I think it's on F. It's on band F on this one. The only other thing I will say, it's the power lead. It has a standard Uniden 3-pin power lead, which is quite good. But the one that comes with it, I think is a little bit, for me anyway, I think for the power of the radio, it's a little bit thin. So I've upgraded mine. I've bought a more substantial power lead, but then that's just me. So you can get these second hand on eBay, but you know what? You're looking at probably £90 to £100 used, as £135 new. Do you know, it's up to you, but is it worth it? Is it worth saving 35 quid? No, I don't think it is. If you can get one, you know, if you can afford the extra, get one new, and you get a lot of radio for your £135. The latest version 6, I'm not sure what this one is, but you can tell because of the LED display there on the channel indicator. The later ones are blue. I believe the others might have been green. But out of the box, if it's not been wide banded, it will do 28 to 30 megs, which is no good. That will not cover the 11 meters CB frequency. But most of these have been pre-tuned into 11 meters. That's no problem. Knights will do it for you. As I say, once you actually have them tuned, they'll actually tune from 25,615 up to 30,105 megahertz, and that's right across the 10-11 meter spectrum. Of course, if you're going to use it as a CB, then you know you shouldn't be pirating over on the 10 meter side. You can go and have a listen, of course, there's nothing wrong in that, but personally I would say, you know, don't interfere with the amateur radio hobby. I don't think that's a very fair thing to do. Power, now this is the reason why people buy these, because straight out of the box it will do 40 watts on FM and 33 watts on sideband, and that is just about what you want. That is more than enough. 33 watts on sideband can get you out a hell of a long way if you've got a decent antenna. And I've said before, you know, even before you think about a multiband CB, think about your antenna. I know a lot of you will be running mobile whip antennas and you're just starting out, but if you can buy a silver rod for 30 quid on eBay and get it outside and get it up on a pole, like, you know, like I started with, or even better still, if you can get a couple of T&K brackets and get it up on the side of your house, you know, even on 4 watts, you will do better than if you're just on a mobile antenna stuck on a biscuit tin or on a radiator, you know. So think of your antenna first. But I mean, 40 watts FM, that's plenty. That's that'll get you out 15 miles, you know, no problem, with a fairly decent antenna. Now there is a lower power version of this radio, which is really the UK legal version of the radio. So I don't think that's got the N on the end of the 6900. So if you're buying used, just make sure that if you want the more powerful version, that you've got the N. If you are going to run it into a small linear, of course, well, you know, it doesn't make a lot of difference. Even this radio can be supplied as a low power version, and on that one you get 12 watts FM, so it's still illegal, and 21 watts on sideband. So, you know, you've got to be a little bit careful when you buy. Make sure you get the full pint. If you want the 40 watts and the 33 on sideband, make sure it, basically that's what it is. Right, so we're just going to get ourselves a radio check on the Superstar 6900N. I've swapped over to the KPO power microphone there, ditching, well, that's not the one, is it? Ditching the standard, there it is, ditching the standard little M6 microphone. I might, if this works out, I might just ask Dave what he thinks of the audio, but for now I can go up to 21. That's a Roger Dave, that's a Roger Dave. How am I coming across to you, Dave, on the Superstar 6900N, over?
Signal 9, radio 5, mate, lovely, no problem at all there.
Oh, that's good to hear, that's good to hear. Well, this is the second radio, obviously. This is the one that Gary's done a little bit of work on and did some bench testing on it, and it's got it all aligned and everything for me. And yeah, just running into the little linear at the moment, Dave, and using the old trusty KPO power microphone, the 532, over.
That's good, mate, yeah, no problem at all, very loud. I don't know how far you're speaking away from the microphone. I'm on the 9900 at the moment, and I'm speaking about 8 inches away from the microphone. How do I come to you?
Yep, as normal, Dave, with the 9900. Sounds lovely, Dave. Giving me a good S8 there, 7 to 8, and as you'll hear on the video, even I'm just using it through the extension speaker, and the audio ever so clear on the 9900, Dave, over.